Welcome to Legislative 101, an introduction to amateurism bylaws. Per NAIA bylaws, an amateur is a student who engages in athletics contests for educational values, personal pleasure, satisfaction, and for the love of the sport, not for monetary or material gain. A student who becomes a professional in a particular sport recognized by the NAIA is considered a professional in that sport only, and therefore is ineligible for intercollegiate competition in that sport until amateur status has been reinstated. For purposes of amateurism, professional status in one sport listed below will equal professional status in the NAIA-sponsored sports. A student who is professional in indoor or arena football is seen as a professional in the sport of football. Indoor soccer is equal to outdoor soccer, and beach or sand volleyball is equivalent to indoor court volleyball. A student who becomes a professional in cross-country, indoor or outdoor track and field is seen as a professional in all three sports. Students have the opportunity to receive awards for their participation, place of finish, and/or special recognition in athletic competition while identified with an NAIA institution if these guidelines are followed. The award is approved by the NAIA institution and the conference if necessary. The award is not cash or a cash equivalent such as a gift card. The awards are of a personal nature such as trophies, scholarship funds that are distributed by NAIA financial assistance rules, non-transferable clubhouse credits, watches, and so forth. The amount of a single award may not exceed $500. A student may collect multiple awards at the same competition with the total value of the awards not exceeding $600. Students who are not identified with an NAIA institution, whether that be prior to initial enrollment at a post-secondary institution, during the summer between terms, or while enrolled only part-time, shall adhere to the award criteria as follows. The student must compete as a recognized amateur under the rules of the sport's national governing body and adhere to the amateur award regulations of the national governing body. As long as the individual accepts awards under the national governing body's guidelines for amateurs, they will not jeopardize their amateur standing in a particular sport when not identified with an NAIA institution. The next few slides will cover acts permitted by NAIA amateur rules. These acts will not cause students to lose their amateur standing in a particular sport. Playing with an amateur team against a professional team or player if competing under the sponsorship or approval of the NAIA or the governing body of the sport concerned. Participating as a member of a team while not receiving remuneration or expense reimbursement beyond actual expenses of travel, meals, and lodging only from the immediately previous city to the event. This will be true even though other members of the team may receive remuneration in excess of NAIA amateur limits. Documenting and itemizing all expenses is extremely important. Receiving reasonable compensation for officiating or coaching in amateur programs such as recreational or interscholastic teams. Supervising physical education, playground, and recreational activities. A student may also solicit and be paid reasonable compensation on a lesson basis. Coaching at the intercollegiate level when compensation, if any, meets the criteria set forth in Article 2, Section B of NAIA bylaws. Such compensation shall be considered athletic aid as defined by official NAIA policy and be reported as such. Competing in non-team athletics contests certified as amateur by the sport's national governing body and receiving financial reimbursement for such participation when such remuneration does not exceed the actual expenses for travel, meals, and lodging only from the immediately previous city to the event. Participating in radio or television programs for the purpose of promoting an amateur athletic event where no remuneration is provided. Students also have the option to promote a commercial product or enterprise as long as the following stipulations are met. There is no reference to the student's intercollegiate athletic participation in any promotion of the product or enterprise. The use of the student's name or picture in no way references any institution with which the student has established identification, including, but not limited to, the use of logos, marks, or names. and remuneration is consistent with standard rates for any individual participating in comparable promotional activities. The following 2 slides will cover acts that will result in the loss of amateur standing in a particular sport. Any student who commits one of these acts will lose their amateur status and must go through the reinstatement process. Receiving expense reimbursement beyond actual expenses of travel, meals, and lodging. Expenses must be itemized and properly documented. Signing a contract with any professional team. Participation in any athletics contest as a professional or as a member of a team where the student is questioned receives remuneration exceeding the actual expenses of travel, meals, and lodging only. Receiving remuneration for a public or media appearance if the appearance makes reference to the student's intercollegiate athletic participation in a given sport or any institution with which the student has established identification. Receiving remuneration for use of a name or picture to promote any commercial product or enterprise if remuneration is based on the individual's intercollegiate athletic participation in a given sport or references with the use of marks, logos, or names any institution with which the student has established identification. Entering into an agreement of any kind to compete in a professional athletics with either a professional sports organization or with an individual or group of individuals authorized to represent the athlete with a professional sports organization. If a student commits one of the acts that results in the loss of amateur standing, the student has the opportunity to reestablish their amateur standing in that sport by following the guidelines listed here. Ceasing to participate in violation of NAIA amateur standing regulations, being charged a season of competition in that sport for every competition season in which the student competed in any manner as a professional or in which the student was in violation of NAIA amateur code, serve 2 consecutive semesters or 3 consecutive quarters of attendance at the NAIA institution at which the student wishes to participate prior to being allowed to represent the institution in that sport in any manner in intercollegiate athletics, and having appropriate verification regarding satisfaction of these criteria submitted to the NAIA National Coordinating Committee for review and final dispensation. Questions about amateurism or any other legislative topic? Please contact us in Legislative Services at 816-595-8180 or by email at legislative@naia.org.